welcome, welcome, welcome to all our friends in South Florida, LA, San Francisco, New York, Chicago. That is the lovely sound of Jesse Campbell. You can't hear it, huh?
I didn't even hear it when you had it on to put my headphones on.
Because you don't wear headphones.
I don't like headphones in the first hour, and it's like I can't even find them. Now I hear you.
You can't find them?
No. Listen, you've got me all upside down and kind of all discombobulated at the moment, because you know why?
Why do you keep slamming my headphones on the table?
Because you don't have my monitor on, I don't have music, all these things. I didn't have a chance to share it out because you didn't tell me it was on. So we're going and it's not shared out. So we just go.
You're like the wonderful world of complaining.
I know.
You're on the air. Everything should be happy. Everybody's on set. Everybody's on time. And you still complain.
Because I have no intro. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm used to my intro. I'm used to sharing it out. My music. My getting in the groove. And next thing I go, you're welcome, welcome, welcome.
Didn't I just ask you if you were ready to go? And you say yes. And you say yes. We go.
When we go.
So
Big day.
On my phone, which
Yes.
I was trying to get into the computer, which if maybe I'll get it somehow, was baby Rowan was born this morning, my grandson.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
7.8 pounds, so I win the contest. I was at 7.6.
What do you win?
$1,000.
Who's paying you?
What?
Who's paying you?
All of us, we chipped in.
Yeah, get out of here. There's
That's
better uses for that
seriously?
$1,000 than to go into your pocket.
I'm gonna buy a savings bond for him.
Very
Oh,
nice.
I love that.
But he's doing fine. They have him in intensive for a little bit, but that's okay. And I want to wish Valerie and Freddy, my son, the best of luck. And don't have too many more, but okay. And there you have it.
What happened? How'd that happen?
It's magic.
Now I'm ready. Thank you very much.
Oh, now she's ready.
Now I'm ready. See why I need the intro, the warm-up? That's why we have a whole nother hour to get us into our 1 o'clock hour. It's only Tuesday. Congratulations, Freddie and Valerie. Congratulations, Freddie Sr. I won't say anything else because you don't like it when I call you Poppy. But congratulations, Poppy.
Not for nothing, but you keep saying that. And
I
it's
think
driving
it
me
is
nuts.
such an
You wanna do me a
amazing
favor?
accomplishment of what that
You
is.
want to go and grab, either sit in that chair
would you
or
like?
grab that mic? Doesn't make
A
a
mic?
difference. Why don't you grab a mic?
Give her a mic. Come on,
That
grab
way
a
you
mic.
can join the conversation.
Okay, join our
Because
conversation.
I never like having people in the audience that aren't part of the
Here you go.
conversation. You let her sit there.
Okay, she can sit there.
She can sit there.
And there you go. It is
Just
a
move closer to
Got a Guy
Hold that
Tuesday at the Brooklyn Cafe TV.
Microphone.
You ready?
Hold on. We got to get her in place.
Right
He
here.
wants me to be closer to you.
Right here.
Okay.
Sit
Right
on
to the mic.
There you go. Right into the
And that
mic.
camera in front of you is your camera. You see it? Don't be so enthusiastic.
You can find us on Facebook, Periscope, soon to be our own YouTube channel, thanks to Tom at SoFlo at
Which
the
we're gonna
Brooklyn
talk about
Cafe
a little
TV.
bit, yeah.
We're going to chit chat about that. And I'm going to turn, this mic is off, and we're good to go. What is going on with SoFlo? Things that you did not have SoFlo yesterday.
We did not have SoFlo every fifth Monday of the month. We do not have an event, which is a nice little reprieve for me. I can actually go ahead and have breakfast with my family, which is nice. But no, this Monday coming up, we have our free event, the Boynton Beach Kickoff, at the Olive Garden in Boynton Beach, right outside the Boynton Beach Mall. And then there's some big news that we're working on right now for the May 14th event.
Big, big, big.
Big, big, big. Right now, me and David are in kind of a scramble mode a little bit because the Ouzo Bay has decided to stop opening up for lunch starting May 14th.
Of course.
So, because
Welcome to
of-
summer, right?
and yeah, it's a move that they're making. It's a smart business move for them because they're just not getting the traffic during lunch, so they have to make the right moves. And that means that we have to make moves. So right now, me and David are actually in a process of trying to figure out whether we're going to stay at Ouzo Bay and do a night event, or move the Monday and do it during another lunch. Right now, we will have these decisions up and done, hopefully by the end of today, if not tomorrow, so that we can inform everybody. We already have people that are signed up for our May 14th event. So we got to make sure that everybody knows, everybody that's already signed up, all the people the people that haven't signed up yet. We'll have some news on where we're going and what we're doing with that.
Well, we have some friends at Meisner. We have juniors. We have, what was the name of that coffee house? People that own Dubliner and Kapow.
Subculture?
Yes,
We
subculture.
got friends of subculture.
Steven's in the house.
So it ain't gonna be it's not gonna be very difficult to
No,
get
You
that.
can always find a home
No,
for
and,
SoFlo.
and the best part about the SoFlo mixers are the people that are attending. I mean, the people that are coming here want to see us succeed because we're helping them succeed. So I'm actually moving it. I'm not afraid. I mean, we moved it from Harvest Grill to Uzo Bay with great success. Moving it to another location, I have no fear of moving
No.
it.
Yeah.
But it's just a matter of making sure that everybody knows, and that's why I'm talking about it today on the radio, is so that everybody knows about it today, because that's really we want to bring in the community. One of the things that we're going to start doing is we're going to start throwing out ideas on our Facebook page and asking for our members' opinions on what they would like to see. So if you guys have any ideas on a night event or another lunch event or a lunch venue, please let us know. We take all that information in because it's all about you guys.
Let us know, and if Freddie had given me time to share it out, we'd be on more pages at the moment, but I'll have to wait till we go to commercial break for that one to share it out a little bit more. But next Monday is going to be at Olive Garden in Boynton Beach, 11:30 until 1 o'clock.
Free
right?
event.
Free event, Olive Garden in Boynton, which is right near the Boynton Beach Mall. Can always find my landmarks where I am at Boynton Beach. Always find them all. The 14th is the one we're going to be changing, and there are so many venues. But if you have a contact with a restaurant that you think would welcome SoFlo, about what, 50 people?
Yeah, no. Last one we were just hitting the 40s, and then we had so much interest this time. We were expecting to be in the 50s.
So working in the 40s and 50s at a good price point for people, somewhere in probably the South Boca area. So it keeps that going. So the Boynton stays in the northern side of Palm Beach County, and we do South Boca del Rey. Let SoFlo know. You can find their page, SoFlo Mixers, on Facebook. You can let Tom know. Also, Tom has a show tonight. 2 shows, right? We're doing 7 to 8?
Yeah, it's the show's now from 7 to 8. It's we have Julie G from Akasha Records. She's going to go over that, and then we have Suzanne, who's a psychotherapist, that's going to talk about grief counseling, a little bit about divorce. I'm a child of divorce. Both my parents have been divorced twice.
Which Suzanne?
Suzanne
Wachtel.
Wachtel. Oh, I love her. She's a dear friend of mine.
She is fantastic.
Yeah.
So she's amazing, and it's such a great show. It'll be Tell Us Your Biz, SoFlo Mixers from 7 to 7:30. 7:30 to 8 will be SoFlo. You can find that on SoFlo Mixers on their Facebook page. Also 95.3 FM, 1470 AM. All of the information will be there. And as always, you can give them a call, 888-565-1470. Let me tell you a funny story about Julie G. while my partner's sitting across the room over there. Poppy's over there. We're looking for guests for the week, and he's texting me, Julian's coming. I go, great, who's Julian? He goes, you know, Julian, library, book lady. I go, okay, and I'm thinking, I guess he's got a new guest who runs a library, who owns books.
First
So
of all,
today I said,
how many commercials do we have? There's a book.
you didn't say it was commercial.
Well, book, library.
So I said, who's Julian? And he said, you know, the Akasha Records lady. I said, her name's Julie. She's coming Friday. Why is she a library? He goes, the book, the Akashic Records library, your library. So in his mind, he took Julie G, Akashic Records, and renamed her Julian, the book library lady.
Oh
I
my
thought it
God,
was 2 different people. That is a problem with texting.
Yeah, but you finally got it. Right?
That's the problem with texting my Puerto Rican partner. Yes.
You finally got it. You know how hard it was for me to get a nickname for Tom? You know how many Toms I know? There's Tom and Tom. I had
You're
a
Tom
conversation
Host.
on a Sunday. I got mad at me because I thought it was him.
You're Tom Host. Today we were looking for someone who's in France, because our show is in France on Tendance TV, and we're looking for her, and her name is Stephanie Abundance. We could not find her name anywhere. So the woman we're meeting with, the contact, he says, you have her name, her number. She says, yeah, but I got to look it up. Couldn't even find it.
How did I find it? How did I list it?
Abundance.
Abundance.
Abundance TV.
I
I
can't
think.
remember her first name.
I think you
Stephanie,
her
right?
name is Stephanie Abundance.
I knew her as Miss Abundance.
Well, I
Because-
think abundance is a pretty good
Isn't that
a
good?
good
description. Yeah.
Because our show plays in Nice.
Yes, we were in France. And
That's very nice.
we were in France, England, China. No more Saudi Arabia because she won't wear.
A burqa. Apparently, I'm a little underdressed for Dubai. But that's all right. My Jewish roots wouldn't take me there, so it's all good. There are plenty of countries we can air in.
That's right. We're going to China next. Anyway, but I'm also excited because Tom, you are putting together the Brooklyn Cafe YouTube.
Yes, I
channel.
am.
So what we're going to do is we're going to isolate the cafe from
Nice.
our regular YouTube channel. And you know, in my self-defense, I put that YouTube channel together so that the videos had a place to go, and you could share the videos with your friends.
We actually do have our own. I can find it if I put in the Brooklyn Cafe, because,
You have a playlist.
yes, exactly.
But there's a difference between what he has versus what we're doing. So we're
You
launching.
should have
the
seen what we
Brooklyn-
had before what we has, before what you're doing. Because what we had before Giovanni and 10 broads on the Brooklyn Cafe, we had a mess.
We didn't have a mess because you're looking at it incorrectly. It was a storage facility. You know, I was putting oil in a big canister and giving people an opportunity to get a bucket of oil. All of a sudden, everybody gets all wines now and they want to see the channel. I never promised the channel, and that's what you're doing now.
Yes, and
Big
that's
difference.
the whole purpose of isolating the shows themselves, making it so that when people want to go on YouTube, because people see this on Facebook and then they want to go back to it because sometimes it's kind of hard to find the Facebook Live posts. Going ahead and using YouTube's channel, being able to create the playlists. Some things that I love that we're going to be doing is for the Gotta Guy segments, we're going to create a playlist just for the Gotta Guy segments. And then for the Are You Ready, we're going to have a playlist set just for the Are You Ready.
Now, I have playlists for 28 shows. Over the year, it grew from 28 to over 60. So I have playlists for different shows that they put on their website.
But it makes this will make it a lot easier for
Yes.
people to find the Brooklyn Cafe because I see what you have right
He
now.
can't find it.
It's hard to find it. It's hard to navigate
Yeah.
that channel because there's so many shows.
Yes.
And
I'm
because
sorry.
there's so many playlists, that's a product of your success. So that'd
Exactly.
be something
It's
I'd
a
be
good
happy
I
thing,
about.
didn't
Freddy.
know 3 years ago we were going to be producing 30 shows a month. I mean, you know,
You
sorry
didn't know
for...
we'd be sitting in an art gallery either, right? And in
No,
trance.
absolutely not. So it has grown, so I guess the need has changed.
And on top of it, I mean, this is one of your most successful shows that you guys have. And
Yes.
people love being a part of this show. People love being able to share this show. So we want to give them that platform to be able to share it when they want and how they want, not just on Facebook, but on Twitter and anywhere else, so that this way your word, the what's happening at the Brooklyn Cafe is being said everywhere.
Plus, you can go back and watch shows that can be archived with finding it so much easier. Because there have been some hysterical things that have happened that people want to go back and watch.
You'd almost think we scripted it. People ask why my ducks are here.
Because we couldn't find geese. I don't know. Why are those ducks there? I know why they're there.
So when Freddy goes old school and he sits over there, if he says something, you know when you hit your kid across the table or they say something they shouldn't, you want to kick your husband and they're too far away, you can't quite get to them?
What family were you raised
ducks.
in?
That's why the duck. When I do warn him, I say duck, and the duck goes flying across the room.
I remember those days when I used to get thrown a lot of ducks my way. Because I was never in front of the camera. I was always behind it.
Just like you are
You
now.
see Steven sitting there right now? That's
Stephen,
what I
thanks
used to
for
do.
coming today.
And we used to, well, he seems thrilled. And they used to throw all sorts of ducks at me and paper. And I wanted to get foam bricks. They never sent me those.
Did you order them?
Yeah.
We should order them. I need to get some geese. Do you know we have a new Wi-Fi system now at the Brooklyn Cafe TV? When you come into the gallery, you can log right into the Brooklyn Cafe, our own Wi-Fi channel.
Yes.
Pretty cool.
Except that when I open it, I have a commercial to somebody else.
Yeah, I saw that. What
So
was
that?
that?
That has to be removed.
I saw
I
that.
don't
I'm
know,
like,
some
what
kind
is
of
this?
painting company. Do I look like a painter?
You do not. We've got our I Got a Guy segment today. We actually have two I Got a Guys with Jen G from I Got a Guy. She's got so many guys, I don't even have my V card. I got a guy, she rescheduled me for my V card. Gotta lock it in.
And she needs it because she gives out the 8800
For Freddie.
for Freddy. I says, well, why don't you do yours? What's your tag going to be?
I can't give it away.
Yeah, I was
It's
gonna say,
like
don't
be
say it 'cause we
trademarked
have
if
to
someone
lock
will
it down.
take it. So I can't say. You know,
Somebody's
you
going
know
to
when
take
you have an
the
idea.
Sorry,
attorney in
take
the
the last
house.
one,
Get an
you said?
attorney in the house.
I don't know. You know
We
when you
don't
have an
know yet.
idea, you have to trademark it. If I say it,
What
I
kind of
have to
idea is that?
trademark it. So
Just change it. You go ferry one.
ferry one, ferry two, pick a ferry.
That's right.
We're all
Pick
good
a
to go.
ferry. Pick a ferry would be pretty cool. Pick a ferry.
Tell us what V card is, because you always bring these amazing guests, and then we never get a chance to even see what the V card is.
Oh, okay. So the V card is really, it's the commercial in the palm of your hand. We call it the world's smartest business card, but it's so much more than that. You can build a virtual card to look like anything you want it to be. So when we talk about there's a virtual card, there are other virtual cards out there that people think, oh, I just basically took a snapshot of a card and I'm just now loading it in and I could put it in and I could find you easy. What we are is we're a completely interactive tool. So for AMP2 TV, Freddy's card.
That's my card.
That's right. We live stream this show right through the card, so you don't have to be in front of a computer anymore. You can just watch Freddie and Dawn and their antics right on your phone, and you don't have to anywhere. It's your completely mobile site. It's tremendous.
It's like a website. You know, I'm having a problem with some websites, not your website, but to that point, Xfinity now has encrypted and locked so many websites. If it doesn't, it happened yesterday, I thought it was spam. It happened on my phone. Happened again today, trying to get onto a client's website. It's not going to happen with vCard because it's not a website.
Hold on a second. Xfinity is locking you off from websites? I never heard of anything like that.
It's actually something that's just recently started with.
Is that an ad blocker they have on there?
Yeah, it's a
protection.
It's a security mechanism.
So you can't see things? That's some security.
Well, I'm wondering, is it because so many people are doing their own home websites, and they were explaining 200 and 400 and I guess different encryptions, how it has to go? I don't understand the tech side.
Well, there's also been a lot of pushback since Cambridge Analytica from Facebook and sharing of information and what you can and cannot share. And I will say within the next 2 years, we're probably going to start to see a lot of legislation around this area. Because this will be the third time that Facebook has been called in front of Congress.
Because it's hard. You're going to write an ad. I was writing a new spot this week, yesterday, and said I couldn't get onto 2 of the websites. One is
So
a
how
guest
did you
coming
finally
on.
get on?
I didn't. One, I still haven't gotten on. I spoke to the woman today, and I said, please give me some information. I couldn't get to the website. I think I'm going to have to turn off my Wi-Fi and go through my phone.
Yeah.
Because I have to go
That's
through
what it
4G. And so I don't know how you circumvent some of these things to get the information you
get
want.
another-
The only other way of doing it, just so you know, is you literally have to go into your security settings and bring them all the way down, and because that's the only way.
Just have Geo fix that for you.
I thought about it, but obviously it's not just me. I thought it was just me, and I was thinking of you saying, what did you do? Did you blow up the house or something?
What did I do?
No, you saying to me, what did I do? Did you blow up the house? How could it only be you? But I guess it's not.
Listen, get
You
rid
can
of
take all the
Xfinity, go to
security.
Hotwire.
I could do that too.
That's what I would do.
But the
They're the
V-card, you
best.
won't have that issue. You can go right to your V-card and look at everything right there.
Because we're a secured app, and the app is on the phone. So since we're already secured, and the CTO, our CTO, Steve Remendini, wrote code for the Department of Defense. And he wrote the code to lock down the Tomahawk missiles. So we are tremendously secure.
That's the
Cool
guy
is
we
it to
need.
have a woman who's a techie, right? I think it's the coolest thing to have a woman that's a techie because you don't expect it, and she's beautiful.
That's only because you're not a techie.
I know. I think there's a
This
lot
is
of
more
women
by
that-
less.
Please, I couldn't even figure out how to turn off the security on the Xfinity Wi-Fi. I gotta go. I had a meeting. I couldn't even deal with it.
That's so funny. It's got to be a setting, though.
It is. It's a setting.
It has to be.
But I think it's so impressive, and you work with so many local businesses, and we've got 2 women here, right? You feel so comfortable knowing that your tech is in good hands, right? Who did you bring with us today?
Oh, so I'm very excited. Today I brought Lauren Cohen. And I met her actually at one of the events with Tommy at SoFlo. And we started talking. Her background as an immigration concierge attorney is so impressive. Then subsequently, I met someone else who used Lauren's services, and he was immigrating from Canada to the United States. He had lawyer after lawyer after lawyer, and finally found Lauren, and she was able to get him into the country. It was the story
Immigration is such a
tremendous.
hot
Yeah.
topic, especially with the president we currently have. So we're going to keep the politics out of what
Yes,
it is,
no
and let's
politics,
just
please.
discuss immigration law and what's happening.
Sure. So thank you for having me. Thank you, Dawn. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Tommy. Nice to meet you.
Brittany.
So I'm Lauren Cohen, and I'm actually originally from Canada myself. So I went through the whole immigration process. So I look at it a lot differently than most immigration attorneys that haven't actually experienced it, or maybe they've experienced it but in a different way. I've kind of been through all of the trials and tribulations. And I decided to set up a business that wasn't purely a legal business, even though I am a lawyer, but more of a concierge business, working with people to figure out what they really need and how to actually accomplish those goals. So it's more than just immigration. It's a full service concierge helping them either to figure out what business they're buying, helping them to figure out what attorneys they need, what documents they need. So much well beyond the immigration piece. The business plan is such a critical part of moving into the country, just like it's a critical part of raising capital. And I actually started writing business plans through a blind date with a gentleman who's one of the co-founders of Boston Market and who's still a good friend today. And so it's great. I love helping people and making the difference for somebody like the client that we were referencing, who's probably watching, is really what it's all about. Because I don't like when anybody has a challenge, but I like to make that difference for them and really hold their hand through the process to success, because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about.
So to me, it seems like there's a few issues. We actually had a client who was living part-time here and needed a business of, I may be wrong, something like $10,000 or
100,000 or so.
something
generally.
with the amount of employees he needed to claim full-time residency
Right.
here. So there's that as far as bringing a business, and then there's just people who want to move from another
Yeah.
country.
Yeah. So there's a lot of issues involved, and there's definitely been some changes in the current administration. I work heavily in the EB-5 space, which is the green card by investment, which is $500,000 or $1 million investment, usually passive investment. That's built a lot of hotels and restaurants around here.
I've seen a lot of apartment buildings going up in East Boca with the EB-5.
Exactly. And so that's where my bread and butter was for the past 8 years, but EB-5 is in a state of huge change and transition.
Why is
So,
that?
Because
Our current administration?
no, it's
Oh.
not just that. So it's very technical, and I think I'll bore them.
So EB-5 was you could get investors to what?
There's two options. One of them is that you're building a large project and you're creating multiple jobs, and then through that large project you can raise capital for a portion of your project from foreign investors. They invest passively, their money is tied up in your project, you use it for operations and job creation, and that's one way. The other way is I buy a business, I buy this art gallery, I create 10 new jobs, I get a green card as a result of my investment plus the job creation. Actually, I'll promote my little
good, I was
book.
gonna get to that.
So I wrote this book last year called Finding Your Silver Lining in the Business Immigration Process, and several chapters in here are dedicated to EB-5. It's extremely complex. I also have an EB-5 video, which is a whiteboard video, which walks you through the whole process and simplifies this nightmare, because you need somebody that kind of understands all the pieces.
But recently, from what I understand, that whole thing has changed because it was abusive
That's right. That's part of the
behavior by
challenge.
some German companies.
No, it's only the U.S. companies that raise the capital, but the problem is that a lot of them were not really using it in the way that they...
In the way it's supposed to be used,
Right.
yeah.
And taking it, I mean, look, where there's money, there's greed. Where there's greed, unfortunately, there's fraud. And so as a result, there's been some heavy crackdown.
Well, that's an interesting order. But yes, and I think it's in trouble. That program.
It's definitely facing challenges. Right now, we're in a short-term extension till September.
Yeah.
So, but the other thing that I was going to mention, which I know we've spoken about before, is that a lot of what I do is kind of expanded beyond the lines of immigration to working with nonprofits, helping them get set up and structured, understanding what the benefits and the costs and benefits are of having a nonprofit, and working also with a lot of franchises, because franchises are of great appeal to foreign nationals. So it's kind of like pulling the whole circle together. So you have the U.S. business, you have the foreign national, you make a match, suddenly you have a shit-up.
But you're working with non-for-profits, not necessarily from overseas.
Yes,
Local
absolutely, and I
non-for-profits. So
apologize.
this isn't even an immigration non-for-profit. This is if you're here, Florida, in the United States, non-for-profit, you will help people set that up.
Absolutely, and the reason is because immigration is in a huge state of flux, and immigration is also, generally speaking, you come in, you get your visa, you're done. So every day you're hustling for another client, or you get a lot of referrals, and that's all great. But really, my love is to help people, and helping people doesn't necessarily mean always helping those big companies raise money, but rather helping the individual person that's either coming in or wants to set up a nonprofit or wants to help other people So it's kind of branched out from.
Well, let me ask you this. There's a lot of non-for-profits, and Freddie's best example is the NFL. Now, the NFL non-for-profit is different than our local non-for-profits that we have one coming on our second hour, which is Wellington Cares, which is a NORC, an NORC, for aging gracefully at home. Totally different type of non-profits. What are you working with?
So the nonprofits that I'm working with are the smaller nonprofits that really are just trying to figure out if they have a mission that would qualify it for 501c3 IRS designation as a tax-exempt entity.
And what type of mission is that?
It could be a religious mission, an educational mission. It just has to, there's no like set specifics, but the mission has to have a goal of helping other people and having a greater good. Now, the misnomer about nonprofits is that nonprofits can actually make money. There's a lot of
Hence the
nonprofits that make a
NFL,
lot of
right?
money. NFL, United
Well,
Way.
it depends what you do with the money, I think.
That's right.
But
So
they
you
can make
cannot-
money.
You cannot put the money in your pocket.
You can't put it in your pocket. The NFL
You
makes
cannot-
billions, but
right.
they have owners, and owners get to
The
take
owners.
salaries, and they get to buy or build stadiums and the whole nine yards. I
But
mean,
there
it's
is
just a
money.
game,
Yeah.
but it's a very expensive game. Now, the
Right.
NFL wasn't born one day to the next as a huge conglomerate. It wasn't that way. It started. You ever seen the movie? What's the movie with the Leatherheads?
Leatherhead, yeah.
Hey, look at the movie. It
Yeah.
started really backwards, but I applaud because the other problem is not-for-profits over the years has changed its definition. Somebody has to decide whether you're a real not-for-profit or you're just being very creative.
Exactly, and this is a big problem because a lot of the challenges in the nonprofit world are from people taking advantage of the
That's the
designation.
problem. Yep.
So this is part of what I help to work with the client on. So there's a lot of us that, I mean, Brooklyn Cafe, there's a nonprofit component. You're giving back, So
We are
it's-
not a non-for-profit, if anyone's listening. We definitely are not.
She said component.
There's a component of
There is a
giving back.
component.
Well, we
Yes.
do, could be, yes.
And there are
There is.
many advantages because you can accept donations and give tax receipts.
That's
but
true.
you cannot, and you can get paid a salary as long as it's fair market value. You just can't put the money in your pocket to
Well,
reinvest
good,
in
we
the
don't do that
company.
either, so.
There you go.
My
So,
pockets
but
get turned
We give
inside
it to
out.
the radio station, we give it to Dan, nothing's going in our pockets. So
So you have
kind of we're there.
expenses, but I understand what you're saying because when you give back to companies, and we have, when you had Don DeMarco here giving out checks, right,
Yes.
$5,000 worth of checks, that could be considered not-for-profit.
And EDL, everything we do for all the foundations that we bring forward,
Right.
absolutely.
And I think a platform, I applaud what you're doing, and I would like to contribute somehow to be a platform for not-for-profits, which are surrounded by profit-making centers. Little League Baseball, when I was in New York 25 years ago, I did this with them.
Yeah.
They bought a building, and they raised a lot of money. It was shut down because of bad management. The problem with this game is that people get bigger than the game.
People get greedy, just same thing we
Baseball
just talked about
and
before,
football
right?
are crazy. Yes, so much.
It's just
Oh, my
craziness.
gosh,
They get bigger
crazy.
than the game. They think they're smarter than the average bear, and then they get caught. And then what do they say? I didn't know that was illegal. And it becomes a problem.
And then it comes full circle back to EB5. I didn't know that was illegal.
That's
I didn't
right.
know that we
Nobody
couldn't do
knows
that.
nothing.
We couldn't do that. And it's like there was one situation a couple of years ago, shortly after the whole Madoff situation, where it was very similar circumstances of almost like a Ponzi type of scheme. And that created a huge backlash on the industry.
And there's a black guy that stains forever. I mean, Madoff
Yeah.
what was the first thing out of his mouth? That's illegal?
Right.
That's a whole
Really?
other story. But you help so many people. You help people come into the country from other countries because, yes, everyone wants to be in the United States of America.
Even today.
Well, even today, because if you're still looking at it, I mean, you're from Canada, you're here for a reason.
Yes.
And here
Especially-
comes our non-for-profit walking in.
Now, let me ask you a different question. What is your, because of the state of array right now, I saw on the news with what's happening out of Mexico, and there's all sorts of takes on this thing, and I don't want to get into politics on this. But what is your strongest point? What is it that you right now your leading charge is? Is it creating not-for-profits? Is
No,
it-
that's
what's
not
your-
my leading charge. That's
what's your
kind
leading
of
charge?
so the thing that I do best is to work with two types of people. And thank you for asking the question. The first is a U.S. company that's looking to raise capital or expand, or a franchise that's looking to expand, and I give them the tools to expand by bringing in foreign investor money. The other is working with the foreign investor to help them figure out not only their immigration piece, but their corporate piece and their structure and what business they should buy and whether the business qualifies. And what I am actually building out right now, which I'm not going to tell the details because I'll come back, is it's going to be called Scale Up Checkup, and it's going to be launched, God willing, sometime in second quarter of 2018, and I'm very excited about it. And it's going to be an online tool, which Jen knows about a little bit, and I'm very excited. I'm just finalizing the tech because I'm clueless about that as well, Dawn. I'm like, I can't
It
translate
becomes
from
overwhelming. It's almost paralyzing. Because you know what you need to do, and technology, even just a glitch in a website, you almost can't breathe because you can't get what you need to get done. You feel so silly because it's such a silly component, but yet we don't know what to do. And like Tom does our marketing a lot for us for the Brooklyn Cafe and the YouTube channels, and Gio does so much, and the marketing and social media.
That's the other part.
Today's news is old.
As soon as you understand something, you
It's
said
time to
something
change.
2 years ago, it's completely different than what it is today.
But it's really a
sounds like
full-time.
immigration.
It's really a full-time job, and you're going to grow your business. We're going to talk. This is not Brittany, although I keep calling her Brittany. Josie, in a few minutes, about growing a social network.
Well, I wanted to ask because there's a phenomenon going on around the cafe. There's a lot of business seekers that are coming here. Like, I'll give you an example. I mean, it's not a secret. They gave me the rights to three-dimensional TV.
Okay.
And that means that any television you look at without wearing headsets, and
Glasses.
without putting any glasses or anything on, without anything on the screen, will turn into a three-dimensional television
Wow.
set. And the technology is in-house. There are 4 companies fighting
So my
each other.
wand will be coming at you virtually. My
But-
pixie dust.
Yeah,
It'll blow.
we can hardly wait. But the buyer,
What about the ducks?
Anything.
Yeah, those are
Imagine this in 3D.
those are going to come right at you. But so this company is actually looking for finances, okay? And I took it to somebody, and I don't know, is there minimums to what you lend?
Me?
Yeah, what
Yes,
your
there's
investors?
a very high minimum to what I lend. No.
Is there a minimum too?
Yes.
Your investors, not you.
So it doesn't really work that way. Like, let's say that there, and I wanted to also, before I say that, give a little plug to Jen, because I love using this virtual card so much that I try not to take my cards anymore. It's just an amazing tool, and I love the fact that as things change and I add services or, I got an industry award last week. I was really excited about it, and I now have it on my V card, and I have all the articles, and I have my book, and it's just an amazing thing that you can update and change in your speaker bio and everything. So to answer your question, so let's say that you're coming and looking for $10 million, and you want to raise this from foreign investors, because generally speaking, the benchmark for EB5 is about 5 million, only because it costs so much money to put a package together. So the package of documents, which is a business plan, a market study, a securities offering, which is called the private placement memorandum, the immigration template, the 5-year pro forma, and the economic impact report, which is a job study, those 6 components are 6 figures. So you're looking at a cost of 6 figures. You're not going to do that to raise $2 million. It doesn't make sense. So we have a 3-step process, and step 1 is a preliminary analysis, which we do a job study to make sure that the business qualifies to raise the money, see if it's viable, see if it's marketable. Phase 2 is the documentation to submission, which is getting all the documents ready and then submitting it to immigration. You get a provisional approval. I'm giving this very simple, so please don't hold me to it. It's not legal advice. And the third is fulfillment and building the company and raising the money. So until you go through the first phase of that process, I can't even answer. But generally speaking, if you're looking to raise $2 million, there's other ways to do it, even with EB5, but we're not going to go through that whole package.
But that was a question. Do you provide, again, I'm looking for smaller financing, 5 and below.
Possibly. It depends.
It depends on the business.
I don't provide any financing. I don't raise
No, I
the
mean
money.
the how-to.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I was trying to get at, because there are companies out there that I know, and their minimums are 10 million. Well, that's nice to live in the penthouse, but I
But
can't
but
deal
you're
with that.
talking about immigration financing.
Yeah.
This is not for local companies. These are immigration
Well, it
financing.
depends on what the definition of
They
immigration
could be.
Another country?
could be.
Potentially, yeah.
Who are you and me to say no?
I don't know.
The person may be an immigrant.
Your former, no, I understand that, but it's not just for local funding. We have someone who's doing that as well,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, this is actually, ironically, global for any U.S. territory-based business, because I have a client in Marianas Islands, which is near Guam, which I've never been to, but this client has money coming in from China because they're very close to China, and so they're using the EB-5 program to access the funding.
So you could use it if you wanted to really help Puerto Rico as a U.S. territory to help them grow and get back on their feet.
There are many projects in Puerto Rico, yes.
See?
Yeah, but that's a tricky slope too, because there's got to be some kind of ROI on this money.
Yeah.
You're not just giving it away, and Puerto
Well,
Rico right
Exactly.
now is.
So it's,
It gets
again, it's
complicated.
complicated, but the ROI, generally in these cases, the investor is not looking for although that's changing, they're looking more for an ROI than they used to. It used to be 0.5% to 1% on average. The ROI is the green card. That has changed, but that was where it was before.
Well,
So it's a crazy changing industry.
They have
It is
become more business
complicated.
savvy.
Now you know why you and I didn't go to law school.
Well, that's why you need the concierge service to
That's
put
right,
the
you
whole
need the
thing
concierge.
together.
There
That's
you go.
How
exactly
can
what
people
you
find
need.
you?
Pardon me?
How can people find
So
you?
you can find me, and my website is www.ecounselinc.com, ECOUNCILINC.com. I'll give you my personal email just because it's easier. It's Lauren, ESQ, LAURENESQ @gmail. And our toll-free number is 1-866-724-0085, 866-724-0085.
Can we make it easier? You have a V card?
I have
You have a
V
short
card.
code?
Yes, you can
There you
text
go.
80800, right?
Yes.
You can text Lauren, ESQ, LAURENESQ.
So much easier, right?
So much easier.
So go to your texting function.
80800. I'm waiting for all of your texts to arrive.
Well, at least the information has been given out there. I think that's the first part. Communication is always, informative communication is always number one. That's where you
Absolutely.
start. So that's pretty
Yes,
cool.
thank you so
Steve,
much.
can we take a quick commercial break? Swap our set out a little bit. We're going to move Josie over, move my partner back onto this side, move over to that side.
Okay.
Yes?
Musical chairs.
Going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're talking Cash for Crash. I love the name. You make me think of like a
my
TV
goodness.
commercial. With Josie Williams, V-Card. Thank you, Lauren.
Thank you.
Text 80800, put in Lauren ESQ in the message, and her V-Card will populate. And we will be right back.
Thank you for watching the Brooklyn Cafe TV show. And don't forget to like this video.
Thank you.
Sounds?
Thank you very much.
Hit the bell if you want to be notified when we go live. We'll see you next time.
Thank you for watching the Brooklyn Cafe TV show. And don't forget to like this video.
And subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell if you want to be notified when we go live. We'll see you next time.
Thank you for watching the Brooklyn Cafe TV show. And don't forget to like this video.
And subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell if you want to be notified when we go live. We'll see you next time.
Thank you for watching the Brooklyn Cafe TV show. And don't forget to like this video.
And subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell if you want to be notified when we go live. We'll see you next time.
Thank you for watching the Brooklyn Cafe TV show. And don't forget to like this video.
And subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell if you want to be notified when we go live. We'll see you next time.
Thank you for watching the Brooklyn Cafe TV show. And don't forget to like this video.
And subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell if you want to be notified when we go live. We'll see you next time. And we're we're back on a Got a Guy Tuesday. I got a guy. We're here with Jen G. I like that little nickname for you. I got a guy. Jen G has the Virtual Card Global, which is the new card that everybody needs. And you know what? I'm getting tired of getting my printed business cards.
That's right.
Got to get my V card, my virtual business card. It's unbelievable.
You don't have a V card?
She's so busy that I just don't even have one. But you do.
You don't have a V card?
And if you want Freddy's V card, go to your texting function, put 80800 in the number, and in the message, put in AMP, AMP2 TV, and you'll populate his V card. For Jennifer's, it's still 80800, Jen G, JENNG, for more information on the V card.
That's right.
We had Lauren Cohen with us on our first segment, SoFlo Mixer's with us, and now we have, who did you bring?
I brought Josie.
Josie Williams is with us
That's
in
right.
the house.
Hi guys.
Cash for Crash.
Well, it's Black Point Funding,
So
but we
much better,
offer
because
Cash
10
for Crash. That's one of the services that we offer with the funding company.
What is Black Point Funding? It's funny that we're talking about funding after Lauren was just here. We're talking about financing and funding. It's a different type of funding.
It's plaintiff funding. It's based around personal injury. So if there's an individual that's injured in an auto accident, maybe they've come upon financial hardship, they're missing work, they've got bills they need to pay, they're going on lots of doctor's appointments. Sometimes just a little boost can help out a little bit. So we do small loans, cash advances for $500 to $2,000 up front, and when their case settles, the payment comes at the end of the day when their attorney settles their case.
And so how does that work? How do people find you? They need an attorney, you said, first of all.
They have to have an attorney. They have to be not at fault for the accident. Most important, they cannot be the at fault
But who makes that
party.
determination when you start?
Well, the police department, they're listed at fault for the accident or not, so that's where the process would come in at first. So once someone realizes that they are not at fault, they have legal representation, they are truly injured to the point where an attorney has taken on their case. That's another qualification. It's a personal injury case. The attorney isn't going to take the case if they're not injured. And at that point, if they are requesting it, oftentimes they might ask their attorney if they can help them find some assistance. Sometimes they're going online, they're researching. Sometimes they're asking medical providers if they know someone. I do a lot of community outreach, so I try to get out and about and do what I can to keep my name, flowing freely, so everyone knows when they think of Cash for Crash, they think of Black Point Funding.
And I always think of all of these personal injury attorney web commercials that you see. You can receive this much cash or this much, but you're not even talking that kind of money necessarily.
I'm not doing structured settlements. There are some companies that do structured settlements where they'll come in and buy the case from the individual. That's a totally different ball game.
So this is more as you're waiting for something, if you need
like
the
a bridge
cash.
loan.
Maybe even help pay for some medical
basically
bills?
just a little peace of mind. Maybe they've lost their transportation and their car's still being repaired. Maybe the insurance company is not taking care of that for them as quickly. Maybe that covers their Ubers or their missing work, so that just keeps the food on the table at their house. These are small loans from $500 to $2,000. Sometimes individuals might come back and ask for another loan down the road, and if the case policy limits can handle it, then speak with the attorney about it, get the information, and go from there.
Now, is this for personal injury?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let me get this right, because somebody I know she was sitting at a red light, and a car plows into her, and they took her to the hospital, and she looked like the mummy when I got there because they had her in traction and everything else. And there were bills that come up, I think it was $28,000. Now, she didn't ask to be in the hospital, and this person had a policy, but it only paid, I think, $10,000.
So that individual, first of all, I'm not an attorney, so I can't give legal advice, but that individual only had PIP protection.
Right.
So Florida is not a bodily injury state. That was something that was up for discussion this year. It did not turn into a bodily injury state. So in the state of Florida, you're only required to have PIP, which is personal injury protection. So when I'm driving in my car, regardless of what year, make, and model it is, all the state of Florida requires is that I have PIP. 10 grand to cover my own medical bills, up to 10 grand. After that, I don't have to cover my passengers or the individuals that I hit. So a lot of people were pushing for bodily injury coverage where you would have a minimum of $25,000 in coverage with a little bit of med pay also. That didn't go through this year. It's been up for discussion a couple of times, but your friend that you're speaking about, if we would have had bodily injury requirements in the state of Florida, that person that hit her would have had to have had the $25,000. I believe you mentioned $28,000.
Right.
So then that would have left a $3,000 difference where her personal injury protection at that point in
Isn't that
time
crazy
policy
that
would have
that's all
kicked
you
in.
need in Florida? I know you're not an attorney. I'm just saying. In
No,
my
I come
opinion,
from a personal injury background, so I've got a good bit of knowledge on it, but I have to give the disclaimer that I am not an attorney and I'm not giving legal advice because I'm not. But that's how it works with PIP.
Now, if you are in another state, like I know New York, I think requires you to have coverage, yes?
All the states are different. They're not governed the same. You might be in a state that has unlimited PIP. You might be in a state that requires a mandatory BI of a certain amount. There might be a med pay in one state. Med pay is very similar to PIP, where the medical providers could get paid up into a certain amount without going into too much boring detail on it for you. But they're all different. They'll vote on it again next year. We'll see if they have time to get to it. A lot of the medical providers did not want PIP to go away. They wanted it to be a BI state because they're able to bill the PIP immediately. BI is a little bit different the way it works. They've got to wait a little bit longer to get paid instead of submitting those bills for PIP. So it's a different procedure, and if it did turn into bodily injury, you'll see more attorneys with letters of protection cases that for the physicians where they've got that letter of protection. Right now, I would say that, without giving any specific numbers, but with it being a PIP state, a lot of the law firms are not able to take a lot of cases. Very similar to your friend that you mentioned. She wants to file a claim. She wants that person that hit her to be the responsible party for her
Correct.
injuries. They don't have anything to go after. She's clearly injured. She's clearly not at fault, but there's no one to go after. So a lot of people will have a policy that's an uninsured motorist policy. So that way,
You'll get covered if somebody
you
doesn't have
get
insurance?
covered if they don't have it. A lot of people don't know what kind of insurance policy they have. They say, I've got the best, I have full coverage. They don't even know what they have. There's no such thing as full coverage. You either have like a 10, 20, do you have 100, 300? Is it a commercial policy? Is it a business? There's a lot that goes into it. So if you don't know if you have uninsured motorists, the one thing I could do to help anybody today is say, call your insurance company,
Yeah.
find out if you don't have it, definitely add it.
And ask the question. Try to figure out what it is that you have so that, I mean, things happen.
A lot of
They
people
just-
don't know. So
Okay.
try to save a little bit.
So, you bridge monies to people that are in small deals, like $2,000?
They're small loans. Sometimes they just want $500. Sometimes they want up to $2,000. It depends on their injuries and the policy limits. The individual will give me a call. They give me some information. I have to, get their attorney's information at that time, and then we move forward.
and what about in the case, his friend, $28,000? Will you offer loans to that size?
No, because even though that individual was not at fault and clearly injured, there is no lawsuit because the individual had no insurance.
insurance.
So you think she's an ideal candidate, but she's not because she doesn't have an attorney because there's nothing to go after.
It gets so complicated, doesn't it?
It is a complicated business, but one thing that I can offer is, not just cash for crash, quick financial assistance. It's also peace of mind because someone who is injured, going through financial hardship, sometimes just peace of mind knowing that I can help someone and I can do it quickly. They're not always able to go get a loan from a bank or from a family member. I can have it done in often 24 hours and sometimes
Really?
up to a week.
Wow, that's
So
fast.
Let's give out your information
It's
for
kind of
sure.
quickly. I have a V card because my nice friend over here, I met her at a networking event at the SoFlo Mixer, and we happened to sit next to each other at the round table of blondes.
That's right.
It happened to be a bunch of blonde ladies all next to each other. I made some wonderful contacts that day, and I have to say, I'm not trying to boost your ego, but you're my favorite contact of the day. I was very impressed with her V card technology. For me, it was, the ability to not have to always have one of your cards on you or have to say, well, go to my Facebook and like my page, or check out this, or check out my Instagram, or this is my website, or I'm having an event. Let me get your email so I can send you the event link. Everything was right there, and I really liked it. She helped me set it up, and I'll give you my V card. It is CASH with the number 4, so that's cash 4 because we offer cash for crash. That makes it pretty easy for you to keep us in mind.
And you have an event coming up the end of the month.
I
Hard to
do.
believe
I'm
we're in
really
May already.
excited. This is going to be a wonderful launch. There is a fairly new surgical treatment center. It's an outpatient center in Coral Springs, and I'm doing a wonderful legal medical mixer. It's going to be a combination of personal injury attorneys, physicians of all types, chiropractors, interventional pain management, extremity, spine, some serious networkers that are out there. You're going to be a sponsor. She's going to have a booth at the event. We've got an IV therapy bus there. We have the Tri-County Animal Shelter out of Boca coming out. They are a charity. I'm really excited to be able to get them involved in this. My dog Tuxedo, as I was telling you earlier, he's an old man. He came from Tri-County, and they're going to be there. We also have a printing company that's coming, Sobe Inc., and they offer pretty much anything you can stick a logo on, whether it's pens, coffee mugs, banners, you name it, they'll be there. We also have a photographer out of West Palm coming that does headshots, Drake Dice Photography. He did my headshots. You can check it out on my V card if you like it. He might be a good fit for you. We have Samantha from CARS, which is an attorney referral network. She's coming out to be one of the sponsors. And we also have a diagnostic imaging company, which is Stand Up MRI. They're going to be there also. So we've got a wonderful group, and we're going to have a great turnout. So if you're in the personal injury world or if you're looking to get into it, this would be a good event for you. It is free to attorneys and doctors or those that work for attorneys and doctors. For everyone else on the link, you will have to purchase a ticket. All of the proceeds go to the Tri-County Animal Shelter.
Well, that's easy.
nice.
That's a no-brainer because the money is going back to a shelter. See, you need to set up a non-for-profit.
Oh,
Because the money is going to a greater good than our pockets.
so the sponsorship covered the event so that we can have wonderful music, snacks, and cocktails, and the rest of it goes towards the Tri-County Animals. So
Where can they find the information?
they'll be able to find the information on Facebook. You can go to the Black Point Funding page on Facebook.
And
Or
what
you
else?
can go to your 8800 card.
Or you can go to the V card, and you can click right then and there and RSVP on the link.
What
which
else
is
does
easier.
Black Point Funding do?
Purchase medical receivables from physicians. So that's on the other side of it. One's more direct consumer. One's working with the physicians. Sometimes they're holding on to their paper a little longer than they'd like to. Their overhead is really high from taking on these letters of protections from the attorneys that they work with. And also sometimes there are cash advances for individuals where they have surgical procedures that are too complicated to be done at an outpatient procedure like the Coral Springs Surgery Center. And if it becomes too complicated due to whatever reason it might be, maybe it's heart condition, or maybe they had a pre-existing condition and they've got to have it done with the same doctor back in the hospital because it's too risky to do it at an outpatient center. At that point in time, I might get a call from a physician or from an attorney or from a client looking for some assistance. So not only do we offer, cash, we offer peace of mind, for all the parties involved.
But it's all based, to do a larger procedure, it's all still based on personal injury, or is it
All personal
all
injury.
personal injury? So you can't just say, I need stem cell injections, can I come to you for funding?
For auto accident victims only.
Well, think about, but there are companies that will do that. There are loan companies that will fund medical procedures. That's not what you do.
No, it's personal injury, so auto accidents and workman's comp. So auto accident, slip and fall, or workman's comp injury.
You laugh at me. I guarantee you, tomorrow someone's going to call and say, I offer loans for medical procedures, and I'm going to go, see, I called it, and they're going to be sitting right here on
I
set
would
with
laugh.
us.
I would like to see that.
Am I right? Doesn't it exist?
I'm sure,
you
from
go.
time to time I get calls. There's a large company that does it for cosmetic
what I was gonna
procedures,
say.
dental procedures.
But is this in case it goes wrong?
No, this is like a
But you get
vanity
it done.
type. Let's say I decide I want to go have, some sort of cosmetic procedure, and I don't want to pay cash for it, and I don't want to put it on my credit card. They'll offer a line of, they call it care credit. They also do it for animals at the veterinarian hospitals.
But that's not
also.
what you do. Yours is all
Mine is
because of a personal injury
Only
case.
personal injury.
That's so strange.
All
I
for
need a
case.
boob job. Can I have a credit?
Yeah,
card?
You have no idea,
you
it's a
can
huge
finance
market.
it. I mean, they
If
can't
you only have one
take
car, you
it
get one
back,
boob.
but
And they do
can finance
financing.
it.
They do
Yeah,
financing.
if you get one car, you get one boob.
But everyone, and letters of protection for physicians, the money can sit out for years. And you're paying somebody.
That's the problem.
I used to be in the field of collecting
You sound like a
insurance.
collection.
And you know
sound
what?
it.
It was a job that I spent more and more hours fighting with insurance companies than I was getting paid. By the time they reimbursed, everyone lost money. So it's just much easier if you need it, that you'll even take care of that situation. The paperwork, paper and money, there's things I don't even like to deal with.
You know, it's really funny. In New York, I used to go to places where there were fires in homes, right? So if it had to be a multiple dwelling. I wouldn't do a single family. And I went to Yonkers, and there was a fire on the second floor, and the owner was there, and he was crying, you know, the whole nine, because he lost everything. And I paid him cash, like you do, and bought the paper.
Don't you ever wonder how people come up with the name like Yonkers?
Yeah.
Where did the name Yonkers come from? Who created?
Not Junkers.
Like,
Not Junkers.
Yonkers.
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 What's wrong with Yonkers?
It's nothing, but it's like such a
Illinois
funny name.
doesn't have an S.
I know,
Yonkers is a
Yonkers.
problem. What's the matter with
I'm
you?
thinking like Yonkers. Like, who came up with that as a city?
Did you listen to the story? Forget
Yeah,
about
sorry.
Yonkers. It could be Calcutta. What difference
I
does
want
it make?
Yonkers.
Yonkers. And I paid the guy, and then he ended up selling me the house, and I sold it the same day I bought it. And he was out. He had started his life all over again because he was in trouble. And I could see how having some assistance can change your life.
Makes a huge difference. It's almost like there's that commercial with the duck that we don't need to name names. But when you need food on the table, you can't go to work right now. You're out on disability, or you don't have a disability policy, but you need a little bit of extra time. Contact you. If it's a personal injury case, contact Tiffany. Tiffany, Josie, Brittany. I don't know. I can't ever remember
Yonkers.
your name. Josie.
Just call her
Josie
Yonkers.
She looks like
I'll
a
wear a
Brittany
name
and a
tag
Tiffany.
next time. That way
I know you're Josie, but I don't know. We're all these women sitting at your
Don't you
table. What is
remember?
in my head
Yeah.
today?
Remember Josie and the Pussycats?
Yes.
You remember that?
Josie Williams
That's
at
how I
Black
remember you
Point
from now
Funding. It's the craziest
Pussycat.
thing.
And she likes animals.
I know. What's your phone
Yonkers.
number again?
Well, you can text it to the V card,
There you go.
80800 CASH with the number 4, so that's cash 4.
Check out, I'm not going to even say it, Josie Williams for Black Point Funding. Her event is May 30th. More information, you can find it on Facebook or her V card. We're going to take a quick commercial break for 2 and 2, which is 4. We're going to be back on 95.3 FM, 1470 AM for a 1 o'clock hour. We've got Wellington Cares in the house. Talk about a non-for-profit with Kathy Foster. I hope you ladies stay with us. We can chit-chat a little bit more. Stephen's on the board. And a big congratulations coming up. We'll be right back.
Thank you for watching the Brooklyn Cafe TV show. And don't forget to like this video.
And subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell if you want to be notified when we go live. We'll see you next time.
Cruise Planners, an American Express travel representative, has a tremendous reputation for quality, service, and very competitive pricing for all of your travel needs. As a Cruise Planners travel advisor, Paul Vadiano will help you discover exciting adventures around the world, from cruises to land tours and completely packaged vacations. Paul specializes in all types of travel and will create an unforgettable vacation, wedding, or event just for you. Find Paul at www.cruiseoptics.com, on Facebook, or by phone at 561-232-2626. We make your travel dreams come true. Cruise Planners, an American Express travel representative, has a tremendous reputation for quality, service, and very competitive pricing for all of your travel needs. As a Cruise Planners travel advisor, Paul Vadiano will help you discover exciting adventures around the world, from cruises to land tours and completely packaged vacations. Paul's
W280DU Boca Raton and W245BC Lauderdale Lakes.
If you have investments and are tired of watching your money disappear when the market goes down, then feel you're not making enough when it goes back up, do something and fix all that. Take an investment class at Online
Science has confirmed that real health comes from raw, organic, and wild foods. Essentials is a complete program of 5 products to help your body function as nature intended. Premium Ancient Superfood Algae offers energy and stamina. Food-based digestive enzymes help prevent occasional heartburn and may reduce stress from processed foods and heavy metals. Our proprietary probiotics help support immune health, regulate bowels, and eliminate toxins. Improve your mood, mental clarity, focus, faster rejuvenation, and better sleep. Order now at eatessentialsnow.com. Essentials, life-enhancing ingredients in the palm of your hand. eatessentialsnow.com.
Want to make your smartphone brilliant?
What if I told you that getting multiple servings of vegetables each day could be really easy?
One tap creates a virtual wine fine tuner. Another, a coffee refiner. A beauty cream and makeup enhancer.
Vegetables can be a lot harder than you think. Each serving
And with still just a tap, a strength and flexibility harmonizer.
Yeah, I definitely felt something different.
That's right.
This is the Vitalizer. In the App Store on any smartphone, a simple download that will embed specific frequencies and vibrations into your phone's light photons and sound waves. Calibrations designed to affect taste.
The Vitalizer one is better than the other one, for sure.
Hydration, absorption, feel silkier, and perhaps most incredibly, your strength, flexibility, and energy. Amazing.
Oh,
crazy.
Well,
salute. I'm loving it. Go to www.vitalizerapp.com and make your smartphone brilliant.
7575. Invite Health, the luxury brand of vitamins.
The Heart of Delray Gallery, located in the Delray Art Complex, is one of South Florida's top venues for art, culture, music, and private events. The Heart of Delray Gallery is a cutting-edge, 11,000-square-foot art exhibition showcasing local artists and artisans with the highest quality of talent and vision, highlighting South Florida's creative arts. Visit us at the Heart of Delray Gallery, 1440 North Federal Highway in Delray Beach. Come, take a tour, book your next private event or fundraiser, or join us for Art Walk the first Friday of every month from 6 to 11 p.m. For more information, give us a call at 561-278-0054. www.cruiseoptics.com, on Facebook or by phone at 561-232-2626. We make your travel dreams come true.
Cruise Planners, an American Express travel representative, has a tremendous reputation for quality, service, and very competitive pricing for all of your travel needs. As a Cruise Planners travel advisor, Paul Vadiano will help.
Science has confirmed that real health comes from raw, organic, and wild foods. Essentials is a complete program of 5 products to help your body function as nature intended. Premium Ancient Superfood Algae offers energy and stamina. Food-based
eliminate toxins, improve your mood, mental clarity, focus, faster rejuvenation, and better sleep. Order now at eatessentialsnow.com. Essentials, life-enhancing ingredients in the palm of your hand. eatessentialsnow.com.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors. Well, it's 1 o'clock, and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. The team is ready to serve you a huge portion of fun for lunch. So let's break open the lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought, take a seat in the Brooklyn Cafe, and get ready to enjoy the humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of feel-good and happy soup to help your day go by easier and enjoy your break with others around you. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddy S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or dream making. It's the feel-good food you need to help that bagel go down nice and smoothly. If you have a story to share, anything that happened at work or play, a movie review, a restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll-free 888-565-4000. 1470 right now. So sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe and let Dawn and Freddie S. get your happy juices flowing.
I'm so happy that you love me. Life is lovely when you're near me.
Welcome to all our friends in South Florida, LA, New York, San Francisco. Welcome to Hour 2.
Hour 2 of the Brooklyn Cafe. I'm going to let you chew your mints with a little chit-chat as you're
I
crunching
swallowed
in
them.
my ear.
I swallowed
Hour
them.
2 of the Brooklyn Cafe TV. We had a Got a Guy Tuesday in our first segment. You can find us on Facebook and Periscope at the Brooklyn Cafe TV. We have a new YouTube channel coming out just for the Brooklyn Cafe, thanks to Tom from SoFlo Mixers. We'll get that information out to you. You can also hear us on 95.3 FM, 1470 AM. Give us a call, 888-565-1470. We had Lauren Cohen on first hour through Got a Guy with the V card with Jen G. So more information on the virtual card, we can get that out to you because you don't even need to do printed business cards anymore. And we're coming with that big announcement in 1 second.
Go ahead.
And then our second, we also had Cash for Crash. We'll get you that information. I keep calling her Tiffany and Brittany, but her real name is really Josie Williams from Black Point Funding. They will loan money to you from $500 to $2,000 in a personal injury case while you're waiting for your settlement. But the biggest news is what? Is your story
the
to
birth
tell.
of my grandson, Nicholas
Roland, correct?
Roland.
Roland Nicholas Santori.
Santori. And here he is.
Congratulations.
7.8 pounds. He's on the air. He's going to be a superstar.
He is beautiful.
My son already thinks that he's going to be his agent. He's going to be a linebacker for the New York Jets,
He's
which ain't going to
beautiful.
happen.
He looks like your son.
He does.
He looks
really
like your
does. Kind
son.
of cool. Kind of cool. Congratulations.
Beautiful baby. Congratulations, Freddie and Valerie, and to the Santori. And what's Valerie's maiden name?
Santori.
And Valerie's family as well. Congratulations. What a milestone. First grandchild on both sides, huh?
Yes, first one we've had, and Gio, slow down because
In my world, we say mazel tov, but congratulations in your world.
my other son Gio called me last night, and he says, well, "How you doing?" I says, "Just got home. I'm tired. It was 10:30, and we had just finished production." And he says to me, "Well, I got good news for you."
Oh no.
And
Did
I
your
said
heart
to him,
sink?
"Be gentle with this news." He says, "No, she's not pregnant." I went, "Okay." What's going on? So he sent me a 13-minute mini view of his wedding.
Oh.
And I watched this thing last night. I'm going to tell you, it broke my heart. But when you're going through the wedding, some of the things you say, like, I heard my speech, because they put it in cuts. The way they did it is fantastic. Really clean editing job, the way they did this. And I'm sitting there and saying, who the hell is this guy?
You're like, it sounds good, right?
It was like I didn't recognize me. And some of the stuff I said was pretty... So then the assistant, she says, it's unbelievable how you get this thing done. How do you do that?
Incredible.
And it was just a lot of fun.
It's a credit to you and your family. Look at these two young men you have raised.
So now you have your daughter and your son. They're next, because you got to be grandmama.
They're so not next.
Oh, yes.
Starting with, it's my husband's birthday today, so happy birthday,
Happy birthday,
to you.
Chuck.
So my
Yes,
husband and your
absolutely.
grandson
24 years of age.
can share a birthday.
I know. Now
Why don't our
I
lives
will
keep
never
colliding?
forget Chuck's birthday. How do you like that?
Isn't it
Wasn't it
funny?
your sister's birthday Sunday?
My sister's birthday was Saturday.
Saturday.
And your father, my father, and my son share a birthday.
It's unbelievable.
Right? It's the craziest thing how birthdays happen, but there's always a reason. My daughter told me the other day that not only do we pick our parents when we come into this world, our souls pick our parents, that she thinks our souls pick our names. So maybe your grandson chose his name Roland.
I don't know.
Or
I don't know
Nicholas.
nothing, but I tell you, there is no S in Illinois. Now, wasn't it somebody else's birthday in your clan?
I
Who's
got a lot
sister?
of birthdays. It's my
Your
sister, my
husband.
husband, my sister-in-law, and my daughter all this week, and now Roland.
And when is your
5.
daughter's?
Saturday.
That's pretty cool. Roland's in the mix. That's
You know
pretty
what
good.
that means?
Michelle,
We
my
got a lot
ex-wife.
of hard-headed Tauruses this week. is what it
Freddie's
means.
mother is May 5th.
That's the same day as my daughter. Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco
I'm
de
telling
Mayo.
you, it does not stop.
Well, Michelle's birthday is May 5th. Don't ask me why I remember that.
Someone
but
said to
still.
my daughter last year, she was out for her birthday, wow, it's really cool. Cinco de Mayo is your birthday. Does that happen every year? And she looked at him and she says, yes. Every year Cinco de Mayo has been my birthday now for 26 years coming up. It is always May 5th. Is that funny?
What happens if you're born on leap year? On the day of leap year, what happens? Do you celebrate your birthday every 3 years, every 4 years?
I
whatever
think
it
you
is?
celebrate the day before or
You
the
have
day
the
after.
option, I would
Right? You
think.
can stay younger, you can get older, you can do
Yeah, but
whatever
on
you
your
want.
on your
It's not
driver's
always there.
license is you don't have an option. You can't say, well, it's because I was born on leap year on your driver's license. It has to be a date.
It's not always there. Stephen, when's your birthday?
June 8th.
June 8th. Coming up. Do we know any June 8ths? Others?
No, I do not.
No. Thank you, Stephen, for coming. He's in the middle of finals, I think. So thank you for joining us.
Are you in the middle of final?
No. I was down. Oh,
He's
we have a
finished.
job for you.
He's finished. Told
Our
you.
board op who helped us get our mini up and running last week at Conscious Co-op. So that is a gig that maybe we can bring everywhere.
And Lou, yes, I got your phone call. I will call you after the show.
We got Wellington Cares in the house. We talked non-for-profits on our first hour, and here we go. Thank you to Cheryl Anders for finding a guest for us. We have Kathy Foster with us from Wellington Cares. I was saying how I went to a polo game in like a pseudo-hurricane 2 weeks ago. But always got to network, our network, and I met this amazing woman named Cheryl Andrews, and she found this incredible guest, and she said, I always have plenty of guests for you, and Kathy Foster is with us with Wellington Cares. And it's an incredible concept. It's called a NORC, N-O-R-C, and you're going to fill us in about Wellington Cares and
I am.
everything. So welcome to our show.
Thank you, Dawn, for having me. And Cheryl Anders is one of our board members and was one of the founding board members in the very beginning when we started. In 2010, I saw a newspaper article in the New York Times about what is a NORC. And the headline said, you better find out, you're going to need one. And it's about organizations throughout the United States that have been created by communities, homeowners associations, outreach programs. The first one was in Beacon Hill. And people decided that they didn't want traditional approaches to aging. They were not comfortable giving up their homes simply because they could no longer drive. And they were looking for alternatives. In the Beacon Hill model, they paid an annual fee to a management company that facilitated anything they needed to stay in their homes and age in place. As that model evolved, there were variations on it. Fees could be anywhere from $100 a year to several $1,000s, depending on the amount of services you wanted. When I first saw the article in 2010, we started researching what possibilities were available. And Wellington is a fairly unique suburban community. We're fairly homogeneous in our lifestyles, and it's a self-contained community of approximately 60,000 residents right now. In that community, I really believe that there were enough support organizations, whether it was religious organizations, service organizations, that would provide volunteers in this kind of a situation. And I wanted to try to do a NORC that was a completely volunteer group.
What does a NORC stand for?
NORC stands for Naturally Occurring Retirement Community. And when we did the demographics about Wellington with the 60,000 residents, almost 14,000 at the time were over 65. So I knew that we had a core group of people that might need our services. When we started, we really believed that we would be a short-term intervention for people coming out of a hospital, an illness. We provide services to anyone over 65 who requests it. There's no financial considerations. All you have to do is call the number and ask.
Well, wait a minute. Hold on one sec. Is this only in Wellington?
Yes.
Nowhere else?
At the present time,
At the
no.
present time. Okay, so I'm going to move to Wellington, and I'm 65, and I get to have someone come in and provide services daily?
No, we limit it to a 4-hour period once a week. We'll take you to the doctors.
Different days? Like if I wanted an hour Monday through Thursday?
Well, no, one trip for a maximum of 4 hours once a week.
Gotcha.
And it has to be neighbor-to-neighbor services. Palm Beach County passed a law in 2016 that said if you physically are in contact with someone you are assisting, whether it's your neighbor or a relative, other than a relative rather, a neighbor or a goodwill gesture from your community organization, if you're feeding them, touching them, helping them to dress, you need to have a license now as a home health aide.
Really?
Because of the abuse that has happened in Palm Beach
So
County.
any of the ADLs, your activities
That's
of
right.
daily living, you need to be qualified as home health. This, what you're doing with Wellington Cares, it's not. It's a caring, neighborly community.
Neighbor-to-neighbor services. We will take them to the doctors. We many times go into the doctor's office with them and write down the instructions from the doctors, how to take their medication. What we have found that there was a core group in Wellington that was in their late 80s, 90s, and several who are over 100, who have outlived every family member, every relative, every neighbor that they had a relationship with, and they're totally isolated in their homes. They don't drive anymore, and unless someone reaches out to them, they can go days and weeks without seeing anybody. So with this organization, we take them to the doctors, we'll take them grocery shopping, we take them to religious services if that's something that they're interested in. We'll pick up their prescriptions, we take them shopping if they need to get gifts for someone or they need personal items for themselves.
So you'll give them 4 hours a week of
That's correct.
personal service.
A
That's
friendship.
correct.
And there is no fee for this.
None at all.
It's amazing.
It's all volunteer.
It's all volunteers. We have over 50 volunteers who use their own cars. We send our volunteers out in pairs. So there's always 2 volunteers for every what we call a participant who asks for our services. We send 2 for several reasons. Number one, we found most of the people who are requesting our services, as I mentioned, are very frail elderly people. And you really can't drop them in front of a doctor's office while you go park the car. You need someone to stand with them and make sure that they're okay. Also, it takes the he-she argument out of it if a senior gets confused and forgets that maybe they left something somewhere and someone didn't take it. One of the things that we found when we were first putting the organization together was the biggest hesitancy about getting volunteers was, well, what if I get sued? What if I'm driving someone in my car,
Sure.
as
And
you
they get into
mentioned in
an
the last,
accident.
and we get into an accident.
Mhm.
Now, in the United States, technically everyone is covered by the Good Samaritan law, which is a national law that says no matter what you're doing, if you're there assisting someone in an emergency or out of the goodness of your heart and something happens, technically the Good Samaritan law covers. We live in the state of Florida.
Where
which is-
technically that law gets a little gray
Right.
area.
It does get to be a gray area. It's the most litigious state in the country. So we felt that if we were going to be recruiting people and that they were willing out of the goodness of their heart to help others with no remuneration, we don't reimburse them for gas or anything else, that we could at least provide a blanket insurance policy, which is probably one of our largest costs because we have an umbrella policy to protect all volunteers.
Isn't that
That's
amazing?
amazing.
So these volunteers, they volunteer their time, their money,
Their car,
gas,
everything.
their car, out of the kindness of their hearts.
Right.
And they go in
Amazing.
twos. How many patients or clients do you service?
We have over 100 participants at the present time that ask for our services. Some want them weekly, some maybe it's once a month. It depends on the individual
That's
and what their needs
unbelievable.
are.
I think that the problem we have here is that we got to go outside Wellington. There's a lot of other communities.
Well, guess what? We're going to talk about that when we get back from commercial break.
Is that where we're going?
Yes, we are. Kathy's got some big news. Give us a call, 888-565-1470, because Wellington Cares has the opportunity to expand. And we'll
correct.
be right back.
Want to make your smartphone brilliant? Brilliant? One tap creates a virtual wine fine tuner. Another,
One
a
tap.
coffee refiner. A beauty cream and makeup enhancer. Wow.
Look at your eye.
What a difference. And with still just a tap, a strength and flexibility harmonizer.
Yeah, I definitely felt something different.
This is the Vitalizer. In the App Store on any smartphone, a simple download that will embed specific frequencies and vibrations into your phone's light photons and sound waves. Calibrations designed to affect taste,
Vitalizer one is better than the other one, for sure.
hydration, absorption, feel silkier, and perhaps most incredibly, your strength, flexibility, and energy. Amazing.
Wow. Crazy. Well, salud. I'm loving it.
Go to www.vitalizerapp.com and make your smartphone brilliant.
What is Debersize? With over 25 years of personal training experience and workout techniques, Deb Varsalone invites you to Debersize. Debersize comes to you from the privacy of your own home or group training facility. Debersize can meet your individual fitness needs, offering one-on-one, non-impact resistance training, post-surgical strengthening, to higher-level boot camp and weight training. Debersize will meet your personal fitness goals at any age. Contact Deb at 561-307-9283. Schedule an initial consultation and get ready for a stronger, healthier you. 561-307-9283.
Science has confirmed that real health
Science
comes
has
from
confirmed
raw,
that real
organic,
health
and
comes-
wild foods. Essentials is a complete program of 5 products to help your body function as nature intended. Premium ancient superfood algae offers energy and stamina. Food-based digestive enzymes help prevent occasional heartburn and may reduce stress from processed foods and heavy metals. Our proprietary probiotics help support immune health, regulate bowels, and eliminate toxins. Improve your mood, mental clarity, focus, faster rejuvenation, and better sleep. Order now at eatessentialsnow.com. Essentials, life-enhancing ingredients in the palm of your hand. Eatessentialsnow.com.
Video.
And subscribe to the channel.
Welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe, where every day is a new adventure. If you'd like to join Don and Freddy S. at the cafe, give them a call at 888-565-1470 toll-free. Come on in or call to share a thought for the day and get all the information you need to help your business grow. That's 888-565-1470. Let's reopen the cafe doors. Now, back to Don and Freddy S.
Thank you for watching the Brooklyn Cafe TV show. And don't forget to like this video.
And subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell if you want to be notified when we go live. We'll see you next time.
And caring and sharing, so do some of that. Do some of that. Do some caring and sharing. Are we on the air?
We're on the air. And we're back at the Brooklyn Cafe TV. It's more than like a Got a Guy Tuesday. It's a feel-good give back Tuesday is what I think. We need to come up with a Tuesday segment, a new name.
I'm going to walk around with this. I'm going to be smacking people today.
And just to clarify, the baby's name is
Rowan.
Rowan. With
Rowan
a W.
Nicholas.
Row, like an or.
Well, what did I say?
Roland.
No, I did not.
Rolling in the river.
Illinois doesn't have an S.
And Rowan doesn't have an L.
And Rowan doesn't have an L. You know what it is? I'm going to tell you something. This is discrimination.
Of what?
Because I'm Puerto Rican. And I'm from the Bronx. I'm Puerto Rican from the Bronx, and I have an accent, and you guys are making fun of me. And Linda, yes, I know it's Rowan.
We're not making fun of you. We're just trying to understand what your grandson's name is.
I just said that.
Rowan, with a W.
It starts
now we
with
all
R.
know it's Rowan Nicholas Santori.
I'm going to call him
Congratulations
R
again.
anyway. I'm going to call him R. That's going to be his name.
He now has a nickname. He's how many hours old? About 4?
Yep.
And now he's R.
He has an R.
He's an R.
That's what he's going to be known for.
Rowan. You know, it's funny because you're from New York. Kathy is from New York. She does not sound like you.
How long you been down here?
39 years.
That's why. I've been down here 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
Yeah.
Do you know-
This is a good accent. It used to be a whole lot worse.
Do you know that Kathy was the first mayor of Wellington? We have a celebrity on our set.
You were the first mayor?
I was.
Did you quit that job?
Well, I served for 11 years in different positions, and it was somebody else's turn.
How does it feel to be a mayor?
I found it was the greatest experience of my life, and it was a great honor that your community would trust you to help form it in those days and to set the guidelines for future growth.
So you know how to run for, if I wanted to run for mayor, you would know how to hook me up so I could do this thing?
Well, you get a good campaign manager.
That's right. Wouldn't you be a good campaign manager?
Well, I could recommend one.
But she's not getting the hint here.
Do you know, I never even thought of Wellington as an aging community. I always think of it as families and a young community. And you tell me it's been around since when?
Well, the first houses went in 1976. So if someone moved to Wellington in 1976 and they were in their 30s, well, they're
Right.
approaching past retirement at this point. They could well into their 70s and in many cases 80s. And if they were older than 30s when they moved to the community, you know, the numbers add up very quickly. When we did the demographic study, when we were looking to research whether or not Wellington Cares would have a market, we found that out of the 60,000 population, we had existing at the present time 12 to 14,000 seniors over 65, and
Really?
that number would grow to 18,000 within 3 years.
Wow.
So when I moved to Wellington in '79, the average age of a homeowner was 33. Now it's up to 47. So we're moving up in the world.
Moving up and cost of housing is going up.
That's right. Fortunately, because of the international appeal of Wellington, the housing market has been very stable in the community and has continued to appreciate.
That's where John Wellman and Vitalizer and Pinpoint Equine are there all the time.
Did they name Wellington after John Wellman?
Would you like to know how they named Wellington?
No.
Kathy will tell you. She just told me.
Oh, okay.
It's really an interesting story. There was a gentleman in South Florida who was born and raised in Florida. His name was Bink Glisson. And there's an elementary school in Wellington called Bink's Forest, named after Bink Glisson. And he was a real estate broker and a captain of a fishing boat, charter fishing boat. And he would take a group of gentlemen from the north fishing every year. And one of them was a gentleman named C. Oliver Wellington. And he told Bink, if you ever find a good investment, I'm looking to buy real estate. And in 1951,
He bought all of Wellington.
Bink sold him 26,000 acres in western Palm Beach County at 50 cents an acre, which is now Wellington.
Wow, 26,000 acres? Is that what Wellington is? 26,000 acres?
At 50 cents an acre. Is that amazing?
It's a little bit more expensive now.
Bink's family must be, I can't believe he did that.
So now you know what his name is? C. Oliver Wellington. You know what that stands for? C-O-W.
What's C-O-W?
A cow.
The first name of Wellington was the Flying Cow Ranch, C-O-W Ranch.
See?
Interesting.
Isn't it amazing when you hear history because you learn things and say why? Kind of like, where did Yonkers come from? You go, where did C. Oliver
what's wrong with
Wellington, where did
Yonkers?
the flying cow come from? Now we know where it came from.
First of all, you had some ladies at the studio the other night on Thursday from Texas. And the four of you or three of you were yapping around
They're
with
from
Steve
Plano.
was there.
Dallas.
There was Plano, there was
Dallas, Addison, yeah.
Maria Sangria. I mean, come on. Those are the strangest names I've ever heard you going to say about Yonkers?
I know, just such a funny name.
Yonkers.
Yonkers.
You ever heard of Yonkers Raceway?
Well, it goes with Yonkers. But
You ever
it's
heard of
funny.
Yonkers Raceway?
No.
Weren't you raised in Brooklyn?
Yes.
Yonkers
from Brooklyn,
Raceway
too.
is an icon. You remember Yonkers
Yes.
Raceway? It's an icon. It's where the horsies with the little buggies run.
Really?
Harness racing. Yeah.
I
Oh
don't
my
know.
God. I'm Puerto Rican and I know that.
I know. But you asked Kathy,
Yes.
is Wellington Care going to expand beyond Wellington?
It should expand. What's going on?
Well, we've been very fortunate that Palm Healthcare and Quantum Foundation, which are the two foundations that were created when St. Mary's and Good Samaritan were sold to private enterprises, have both been monitoring the work of Wellington Care since we started. I had been involved in nonprofit work as a volunteer for many, many years and had worked with both foundations in a different life and wearing a different hat at the time. So I had reached out to them in the early days and told them what we were trying to do and looked for their mentoring and for advice. And this past year, they both gave us grant money to create a parent organization called Your Community Cares, so that Wellington Cares will be a franchise of Your Community Cares. And we just held public meetings for the first time in Royal Palm Beach to start a Royal Palm Beach Cares sometime later this year.
Wow.
So we put out a call, and we had public meetings at a country club, the Madison Green, and then at a local restaurant, Hillary's, on Saturday morning. And we had about 30 people show up. Some were interested in advisory board positions, and others were interested in being volunteers. So we're very excited that we'll be able to get that off the ground by the end of the year.
That's
Isn't
tremendous.
amazing? And
That's
not so many
tremendous.
years to see this kind of growth. And
It's
it all came
tremendous.
out of the not wanting to age like our parents.
Exactly
Right? When
right.
you look at your parents, I don't know, aging like your dad's pretty amazing, but we all
87.
don't have families that age quite like your father.
Nobody
87
ages like
living in
him.
Puerto Rico. I don't know, it's just amazing. But we look at our parents, I look at my grandparents and how they went into this retirement community. And you know what? They probably weren't a whole lot older than I was. I am now at the time, and I think I wouldn't want that lifestyle. And this is how you came up with Wellington Cares.
My parents moved into Lords McKean on Flagler Drive in their mid-70s. And I can't imagine, I'm getting close to my mid-70s, that I would ever consider going into a life care facility. I'm very much tied to my community and would like to stay there, remain in our home as long as I possibly can.
With help, but they remember, keep in mind that we can't do ADLs like we do. So when you talk about Lou and what he does with home health, that's not what Wellington Cares is about. It's
No. I
service.
get the concept. I think that if you're listening today and you have some grant money in your pocket, and maybe we bring it down maybe to Del Rey, or I mean, this makes a whole lot of sense. And if you have the money, or you know somebody who has the money, let's have a little chit chat.
I have an idea though, because
course you
all these people, they're aging gracefully in their homes. But what in case of an emergency, right? How are you going to get your volunteers out there? You know what they need? The Ready Pack. We have to get them some Ready Network stuff in their house.
You scare me.
I scare myself sometimes too.
I think that the Ready Pack, and I was giving...
No, the regular Ready, not the towels, but think about it. Because we've had Rails Jewish Family Services on, and when the hurricane came through in September, there's a lot of people to check up on.
Yes, there is.
And you batten down the hatches and you keep everyone safe. And then after the storm, you've got 100 participants in your program that you now have to check on.
Well, we have a hospitality call every day because what we
Of
found...
course they do.
What we found was that many people just wanted someone to talk to them every day, that they lived completely isolated and they wanted somebody to say, I'm still here. So we have 2 volunteers, and actually the lady who started it was in her late 80s and couldn't drive a car anymore, but wanted to volunteer. And we had said, well, we'll try to work you into the program. And she came back 2 weeks later and said, could I start a hospitality call? I would like to do that. And she now spends anywhere from 10 to 15 hours a week on the phone calling any participant that would like to have a chat. And they tell her what time they'd like a call. Some want to say, hello, I'm still alive, thank you for calling, and others want to talk for a half hour.
That's what I was going to ask you. If I wanted to talk for 4 hours, would that be okay?
I'm telling you, this lady would be delighted. And she now has another volunteer who helps her for just that reason. People want to have conversations and interact.
Absolutely. At that age, you're looking for it to make new friends. And listen, I would have a party once a week, 4-hour party.
Every day?
4-hour party. The person comes, they help me put the party together, invite the whole community, everybody, have a big party, once a week.
Well, the amazing outfall is that people who we help, our participants, say that they have a new lease on life because somebody cares about them, that they're not, that they have value again. In many cases, they became so isolated and so alone that they felt that they were just waiting to die. Now they know someone's going to come, take them out, interact with them, help them to be part of the community again, if that's what they choose.
That's very cool. And that in itself is, like I said, if you got some money, got some grant money, baby, bring it on. But the Ready Pack there's a new sponsor to the show. The Ready Pack is coming. We have stuff coming for this. But they gave me a towel that says it has...
It's a whole towel set in a bag.
In a bag.
Wow.
So I can take a shower here.
Well,
in the next room.
You know what? There's showers here, and there's saunas.
Yeah, but I don't need that.
But you've got you've got a towel, and you have a washcloth, and you have a hand towel. So you could do everything here. Is that amazing?
That is amazing.
It is, and they have all sorts of stuff in this bag. This thing is full of glitter. Not for nothing.
This whole studio is full of glitter.
Stop touching everything. They have all sorts of things coming, and I forgot to bring my poker chips. We're going to have poker on tomorrow. We'll do it with the gang.
It would be really nice if we could give to Wellington Cares every time they had a new participant. Perhaps they can partner with Ready Network, Be Better Prepared.
That would be great.
.info. We can connect them and see that perhaps they get a towel or some cards.
This bag you get to live 2 years.
Look at this emergency light. This light they're actually going to be putting in senior facilities. You hold it down. See that? You can hold it down, and it's solar charged, so it can sit in the windowsill. So in case of an emergency, it's always charged. There's always a flashlight.
And where's the other one?
And there's a beacon. I don't always get the beacon on right. There you go.
And
See that?
I use
But
that
what a
when
wonderful item for
I
a
use that
senior
when I
who's
go to
alone,
gas.
put in the window and let someone know they need help.
And it always charges in the window because it's solar, so you never have to worry about changing the batteries. And there's always a USB for your cell phone in case of emergency.
It's a nice little item to have.
It's
And-
That would be
item.
great for someone who wanted to give a grant to fund putting those in every package for a senior. That
Well,
would help.
it's amazing because they do generators, they do all sorts of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And there are straws in here that you could drink muddy water and the whole nine.
Mm-hmm.
You can live on this bag. It has mosquitoes, it has a tent, it has
No
everything.
mosquitoes. It's got mosquito netting.
Mosquito net. But he gave me a card, and on his playing cards there are 52 tips on how to survive a storm. So we're going to be playing poker here with the boys from New York tomorrow. They're going to be on the set. Don't miss that show. And I'm going to bring
You're
in
going
my
to teach
chips.
me how to play poker?
You just bluff.
I
Just
don't even
throw a
know
lot
the
of
cards.
money, because I'll be slipping you coins this
Oh,
way.
okay, good.
Just throwing a lot of money, and everybody says, that's it, I'm out.
But it's all about being ready and being prepared. And our delivery system's a little unique, but the information definitely gets out there. So people, we hope, are listening and get the information.
Very cool. And again, more of this is needed. There are also programs, like when we were working for Jewish Family Services, the food pantry, wasn't that, do you use them?
We actually had started our own food pantry because many of our seniors, their Social Security checks are so minimal at this point, having been on Social Security for 40 years.
Right.
That they can't live off of them. So they get the EBD cards from the government to supplement. But if you use an EBD card, you can't buy shampoo, you can't buy toilet paper, you can't buy Depends, can't buy cleaning supplies, laundry detergent, and the money they have on Social Security goes to their medications. So we started a food pantry of our own for Wellington Cares participants, and it's a non-perishable food pantry. And we have partnered with local hospitals, and the schools do food drives for us. And we work with one of the churches in the community that once a week goes out to the glades and gets us fresh fruits and vegetables, and they get donations of meat that we take once a week to any one of our members who need it.
So you have your own pantry as well?
Yes, we do.
And,
Got it all.
and where do you, well, it's important. You know, I was going to ask you that because I know that some of the supermarkets locally are very expensive. I don't want to say any names, but holy smokes, unbelievable. I actually...
That's why the dollar menu at some of these fast food restaurants are so popular.
Yeah, because it'll kill you.
Exactly.
Swallow a bullet, you'll be safer. But the bottom line is that it can be very expensive to even eating at home is a bargain because I'm saving money on the outside, but some of the stuff is not cheap.
And some of our participants who are, again, in their late 90s, their Social Security isn't even $400 a month. How do you live on that? How do you buy food and maintain a home? And the houses are paid for, but they have to save for taxes and all the other things, and it becomes a real issue where they're going to put every single dollar.
How do you live on $400 a month? Come on.
Well, my mother was living on $760 a month.
But their house is paid for.
The house is paid for, and they rented some house property for like $400, and then my father was a farmer, and that's how they survived. If he didn't live in Puerto Rico, he would never have survived here.
No,
No.
just the cost of electricity and telephone.
He died.
I feel, it's heartbreaking because everyone assumes everyone in Wellington is, financially secure. When you go in and meet these people and they have lovely homes, but they have outlived their money. And we read that story in the papers every day about retirement and the cost of retirement. But medications alone will break the bank for these individuals.
And the scary thing is that when you retire, it comes on you like a bad rash because if you didn't prepare,
That's right.
and then you turn around and says, okay, what do I do now?
It comes on you like a bad rash.
Yeah, all
Where
of
do
a
you
sudden,
come up with this?
well, it's true. Think about that. Suppose you retire and you got no savings, you got no blueprint, nothing. What do you do?
What do you do?
Yeah, what do you do? It's funny, I was thinking about you saying what you did and among the Hispanics. I was going to ask if it was a Puerto Rican society because among Hispanics, that's how they wilter away. They stay home. No, they don't know what homes and all that.
Well, it also
Alzheimer's
comes down to finances.
comes down to money.
Comes
Yes,
down to
absolutely.
finances. But what you
Absolutely.
offer is amazing. Pick up and deliver prescriptions, dry cleaning, groceries, even minor home repairs. See? They even do that?
We partnered with Home Depot. We have a great story. We got a call from someone's family who was out of town. They said they were concerned about their mother. She hadn't picked up the mail. Her bills were late, and she wasn't answering her phone. And they asked if we would check on her. So someone from the organization knocked on her door. She opened the door and she was fine, looked fine, and they said, well, you know, your family's very concerned. She said, well, I don't want them to know. And we said, well, what don't you want them to know? Is that she had vertigo. And every time she walked to her mailbox, she got a dizzy spell because the driveway had a tremendous slope in it. So she didn't bother to pick up her mail anymore. And she didn't want to answer the phone because she was convinced that her family would put her in a nursing home if they thought she wasn't independent. So we said, well, that's, you know, those are things we can fix. So we called the post office and explained the situation and said, would the mailman bring the letters or her mail to a mailbox on her front door if we put a mailbox there? And they said, yes, we make exceptions in certain cases. We went to Home Depot, they donated a mailbox. We had somebody hang it on her door, and she's still happily in her own home.
Isn't that amazing? Little tweaks.
Yeah, we had another woman who had come out of the hospital after a prolonged illness, and she got home and she had been cited by the village for code violations because the grass and the shrubs were overgrown and there was trash around and nothing had been done. So we partnered with the Rotary Club and the local Boy Scouts, and they went in on a Saturday and they did a whole outside cleanup and touched up the paint and cleaned her windows and did the gardening, and she was able to then manage from that point on. So it's, you know, whatever we can do to partner with other service organizations in the community. Work very closely with Morse Geriatric and with Alpert Senior Services. We work with 211, and we work with the community itself, that Wellington will identify someone in the community that needs more help than they're in a position to give.
How do you get your volunteers?
Our local newspaper is the Town Crier, and he runs an ad gratis for us every single week saying, if you need help, call, or if you'd like to volunteer.
And people actually are calling to come on and be volunteers?
Right, and the first Thursday of every month, we have a training at the Whole Foods Conference Room. And from 10 to 11, we train anyone who's interested in becoming a volunteer. They have to be fingerprinted and background checked. And we go over how to be a good volunteer and how to be respectful but observant at the same time, and that they are basically the eyes and ears of the organization. And we count on them to let us know if a participant needs more help than maybe we can provide, so that we can network with the proper agencies.
That's very cool.
For more information, you can contact wellingtoncaresorg.com. You can also give them a call at 561-568-8818. It says reach out today, whether you're a family member needing help for another family member, or if you're just listening and watching us, contact wellingtoncaresorg.com. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we will be right back.
Thank you for watching the Brooklyn Cafe.
This is Alyssa, the Paint Girl. Car accidents happen. Get the most affordable, convenient, superior vehicle repair with concierge service. The Paint Girl provides pickup and delivery with no additional cost. Our body shops have over 30 years combined experience. The Paint Girl handles all makes, models, lease return repairs, and insurance claims. Your smart choice for vehicle repair, The Paint Girl. Call 954-691-7024. That's 954-691-7024.
Want to make your smartphone brilliant? One tap creates a virtual wine fine-tuner.
Want to make your smartphone
Another,
brilliant?
a coffee refiner. A beauty cream and makeup enhancer.
Wow. Look at your eye.
What a difference. And with still just a tap, a strength and flexibility harmonizer.
Yeah, I definitely felt something different.
This is the Vitalizer. In the App Store on any smartphone, a simple download that will embed specific frequencies and vibrations into your phone's light photons and sound waves. Calibrations designed to affect taste,
Vitalizer one is better than the other one, for sure.
hydration, absorption,
Feel silkier.
and perhaps most incredibly, your strength, flexibility, and energy. Amazing.
Wow. Crazy. Well, salud. I'm loving it.
Go to www.vitalizerapp.com and make your smartphone brilliant.
I got a guy.
I got a
Need
guy.
I got a guy. With V-Card Global, all your contacts are in the palm of your hand. Never leave home without your business cards or brochures again. V-Card is the ultimate marketing tool. No more printing cards or brochures. V-Card fits in the palm of your hand and is always with you. V-Card is a powerful networking tool that virtually promotes sharing and builds referrals for your business. V-Card Global, the virtual business card. Hold your business in the palm of your hand. Contact Jennifer at jenng.vcardinfo.com, the world's most intelligent business card. I got a guy, jenng.vcardinfo.com.
We'll see you next time.
Welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe, where every day is a new adventure. If you'd like to join Don and Freddy S. at the cafe, give them a call at 888-565-1470 toll-free. Come on in or call to share a thought for the day and get all the information you need to help your business
Thank you
grow.
for watching the Brooklyn.
565-1470. Let's reopen the cafe doors. Now, back to Don and Freddy S.
Thank you for watching the Brooklyn Cafe TV show. And don't forget to like this video.
And subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell if you want to be notified when we go live. We'll see you next time.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
And we're back.
That's
pretty good.
I look like an idiot.
No, it makes me laugh every time I see it.
I look like a grandpa.
You must make everyone laugh. Rowan is going to have a good life.
R.
This little boy. R.
My man R.
My man R.
My man R.
I need to give a call to Miss Jamie Hidalgo and Storks and Signs so we can deliver a sign over to their home.
I asked, they said no.
They did?
Yeah.
Valerie
said no.
She changed her mind?
All right,
All right, we're thinking of it. Congratulations again to Freddie Jr. and Valerie on baby Rowan. First grandson.
First
The
grandson.
Santori name now continues in the next generation.
I know, isn't that so weird that if you're born a girl, your name could drop off? That makes no sense.
Change doesn't quite drop off.
No,
but it
like
can
they say
change.
you only had girls in your family.
I know.
And you were the last of your family. What would happen? You would have to name a girl a boy or something.
Right? That's exactly what happens. So how does that feel to you? How about your father? What is he thinking?
He doesn't even know yet. I haven't told my sister.
You got
I
to
gotta
tell him. You got to tell him. Very exciting news. Stephen, thank you for being on board. You know, we bring in so many people, and Stephen is always here with us. Rita's usually here too, so thank you. School's out for summer, huh? Yeah? He's done.
He graduated? Oh, he
You did?
graduated.
Congratulations.
He's not going back.
When's graduation? You did graduation too? Oh, he's done.
You were in the auditorium at the school?
He was outside.
Oh, really?
He doesn't have even a mic.
Gio graduated at the auditorium. I think it was in the school. Maybe I'm wrong.
I have to say, though, Full Sail, they truly, really, really train these kids on technology. I had never known anything really about it other than passing it on my way shopping when I went to Orlando. But that was Full Sail. But between Gio and Steven, and we had Mike who joined us last week, it's incredible what they teach these kids.
Yes, it's an credit to, and it's funny because Full Sail did not have a good rep at one time. It was saying that it was to this and to that, but it is what you make it, you know. And they have some pretty outstanding talent.
That's with everything. It is what you make it. So more information on Wellington Cares. How'd you like that? Our first celebrity.
I do like that, and I'm calling out for people who have some monies for a grant or something else. I think we should have this in other cities. It's a calling, and a call to action is we should have more of these Wellington Cares in different cities.
Kathy Foster, what a lovely lady. The first mayor of Wellington, and she puts together Wellington Cares with an amazing board. You're going to get to meet Cheryl Anders. She's going to join us one day on set. This woman touches lives in all different directions. So that's how she found Kathy for us. You can find more information for Wellington Cares. Got to get that information actually out to Marcia Teal.
Yes,
Maybe
I'm going
see
to take
her
this
today.
with me. No, she's not there today.
WellingtonCaresOrg.com. You can also give them a call at 561-568-8818. You know, when you brought us to 2 hours, scheduling 2 hours is quite a feat every day.
Yes, it has feet.
It has feet and legs, and they run. But our first hour was great, right? We had Got a Guy.
But you had three
So
segments
well.
on the first hour.
Well,
That segment is top heavy.
well, you know what? I'll tell you why later, because we were supposed to have another guest that was going to go with Cash for Crash on the second hour, and things clearly got a little
and,
muddy.
and it would have been really cool, and then you got Wellington Cares in there, so it sort of worked out. But, you know, hey, listen, things happen in the real world. What can I tell you?
Things happen, emergencies happen, people have babies, things change.
Well,
Life now changes.
Everything changes. And the segment that she's talking about is the paint lady. We're going to see her next week on Tuesday. When you meet her, you're going to meet somebody who is a female entrepreneur involved in the man's business. And more on that next week.
Which is really amazing. And like I say all the time when Jen sits here, women in technology, it's not often. I know women do technology, but overall women are not known to be in the sciences and technology. But now we have Alyssa, the paint girl, who does auto repair and body work. Again, something you wouldn't expect a woman entrepreneur.
She picks up your car.
She picks up the car. Auto body work. She picks it up. They get it repaired.
And then they bring it back.
And body work. I don't know if they do servicing, but I know they do body work.
No, that's her main goal is that she picks up cars and takes
through
them
Hallie
back.
Elise, which is a great contact.
Yes.
When's Hallie's show on?
She was on yesterday, Mondays at 6:30. No, 7 to 7:30. Hallie Elise. Hallie Elise also went on Wake Up America with Christina Lynn, 7:30 to 8, and they talked about all sorts of stuff. And Hallie tried to get me on the spot because I promised her a testimonial because I've known Hallie. You know, I've known Hallie since 2014. I've been working with her. And she asked me for a testimonial, so she whips out her phone. And she says, "You're going to do it right now." And I just got up and I did it. And I blew her away. She said, "That was pretty good."
Did she do a reading on you, or you just did a testimonial on who she is as a person?
When I first met Hallie, she did a reading on me, and I told her no more of that. But she told me something that nobody in my life knows, which shall remain with me. But she didn't. She was 100% right. And she told my son, we were doing the Freddy Fixer show. And she told my son, "You're going to meet somebody, get married in January. Don't fret." And Freddie was like, "What?" And he got married in January to Valerie. And now they're having their first son. And I asked her last night, "How come you never tell me what's in store for me business-wise?"
You really
asked that? She didn't answer me. So I'm kind of nervous.
Well, isn't that like a not allowed thing to do in the spiritual world unless you invite them?
If she says, if you ask, she has to answer. She didn't ask. She didn't answer me yesterday. But she's working with me again, so it can't be too bad.
And she's joining us the end of the month on set. We're going to do a Hallie Elise segment here at the Brooklyn Cafe on May 28th, I believe it is, on a Tuesday.
On a Tuesday, yeah.
Hard to believe that we're in May. Come on, May 1st?
I know. It's ridiculous.
May 1st.
The year is going so fast.
Right? Next thing you know, we're summer.
The next thing you know, it's 57. Am I 57 or 56? How old am I?
I thought you were talking about like a
12.
A steak sauce. Heinz 57 is what I think you're talking about. You're 56.
You're going to have another birthday.
No, not yet. I'm not having another birthday. Tomorrow we've got I'm a little nervous about tomorrow's show. I'm just saying because Freddie has scheduled tomorrow's show. So if you want, I think, a wacky show, it might be upside down and backwards with the guys you have. Who's coming on tomorrow?
I got the gangs of New York coming. I got Coach C coming.
Coach Nick?
Yep. I got Steve-O. I got Tommy. And there's another gentleman, the one that created the mirror. Remember the mirror?
The selfie mirror. Is the mirror coming?
The mirror's coming.
Mirror, mirror on the wall.
Who has the tales to tell them all? The funny thing is that noise is from West Side Story. If anybody, I don't know, you saw West Side Story?
Yes.
Yeah. Steve, you know West Side Story? I've heard of it. He's heard of it.
See, he's talking to a mic stand without a mic.
Yeah, but all I need to know is if you heard it. The West Side Story is a classic gang movie, and I had the gangs in New York coming.
I'm a little scared. I just have to say, I have no idea what's in store for me and the New York gang.
I don't know
Are there
either,
any
but
other
they
women
asked
sitting
me.
on set with me?
I think that JoJo's coming down to keep you company because she felt you were being outnumbered.
Thank you, JoJo, because apparently
Don't thank her yet. She said
yesterday's show
maybe.
was a big hit. I'm getting all kinds of comments from around the gallery on who was the other woman on the show yesterday. And I had to think,
Who told you
it was
that?
JoJo. But they shall remain nameless.
Who?
Because
Yeah, I want to know nameless.
I'll tell
'cause
you.
Nobody told me that.
one of the artists in the gallery stopped me. Some of the artists. Some of the artists at the Heart of
That's
Delray
because they haven't
Gallery.
seen JoJo been around. She's been around for ancient years.
Friday, he wasn't here though. Friday night is an impromptu event here at the Heart of Delray
Yeah,
Gallery.
let me
It
ask
is
you,
art
what
walk.
is that?
It's an art walk scheduled for Friday night at the Heart of Delray Gallery.
Where did it come from?
I guess it came from Dan. So if you have not been here to Art Walk, if you have not walked around this beautiful 11,000 square foot gallery with 70 plus artists, or if you have and you want to come back and visit us on a Friday evening, I'm sure there'll be wine. Otherwise, they wouldn't be doing Art Walk
How do you know that?
because there's always something.
Yeah, but you don't know
Well,
that.
Carrie was here promoting with that other.
Wine? You don't know if there's going to be wine.
There'll be something here. Art Walk, 1440 North Federal Highway in Delray Beach. Come on down, join the fun, walk around, see the gallery. There'll be something, light bites, some kind of wine.
For more information,
Meet
call
and greet.
561-278-0074. Ask for Dan, and you can get more info. I just want to be clear that people come, they get mad at because there's no wine. I just want to make sure. I don't know.
Give them a call. Wow. And we're done. How
And we're
about
done.
that? Have a terrific Tuesday, everyone. Happy birthday to my husband. Happy birthday to your grandson, to Rowan Nicholas Rowan, Rowen.
Okay.
We'll see you
Don't be a
tomorrow,
wise
same
guy.
time, same place. Be kind to each other. Congratulations again.
And don't be late.
Bye-bye.
The Heart of Delray Gallery, located in the Delray Art Complex, is one of South Florida's top venues for art, culture, music, and private events. The Heart of Delray Gallery is a cutting-edge, 11,000 square foot art exhibition showcasing local artists and artisans with the highest quality of talent and vision, highlighting South Florida's creative arts. Visit us at the Heart of Delray Gallery, 1440 North Federal Highway in Delray Beach. Come, take a tour, book your next private event or fundraiser, or join us for Art Walk the first Friday of every month from 6 to 11 p.m. For more information, give us a call at 561-278-0074.
Do you find yourself asking, why am I doing this again? I feel stuck, or I can't get clarity. An Akashic Record consultation will give you unbiased guidance and insight to move past being stuck and move forward with ease. Akashic Records are your individualized thoughts, words, and actions from the spiritual world. An Akashic Record consultation pulls from the non-physical world of your past, present, and future. Contact Julie for your Akashic Records consultation. 561-945-1108. AskYourBook.com. Be in conscious alignment. That's 561-945-1108.
Thank you for watching the Brooklyn Cafe.
Well, that's about it for today, and even though the show is over, the Brooklyn Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at 1 p.m. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddy S. will bring you more goodwill next time. Although today's show was live, you can follow the cafe on Facebook at Brooklyn Cafe. To rewatch every minute of the show, call 866-224-5422 to talk with Dawn and Freddy S. after the closing, or to leave an order for fun for the next show. Have a meaningful day. The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its hosts, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
1470 AM and 95.3 FM.